Hello everyone, today I want to talk about my champion Cyclone Impale character and how you can league start with this character. So we're going to start off at level 1. I would personally pick Frostblades as my league starting skill, but you are able to pick whatever you feel most comfortable with. I personally enjoy playing with Frostblades though. And you can use any weapons that you want as long as it's dual wielding, because we have a lot of dual wielding nodes early in our skill tree. You are not forced to having to play claws early on. I personally will play either swords or axes because I like using leap slam, and I'll be using leap slam as my movement skill throughout the leveling stages, and I'll be using, yeah, like I said, swords or axes. As soon as we hit level 28, there are two different options we can make here. We can either use Cyclone immediately when we hit level 28, or a lot of people prefer to use Bladestorm. Now, Bladestorm is a really nice skill that easily can push you through the acts pretty quickly. It has a synergy between Blood and Sand and Flesh and Stone, where you alternate between Blood and Sand stance. And the Sand stance spawns like two swirling blades, whatever you want to call it, that travels around the area and DPS mobs, and the blood one is just like locked in place and does damage in that specific spot. The blood one does more damage overall, and the sand one moves around, so I would prefer using the sand one for just clearing an AoE, and then using the blood one for single targets. Also, when it comes to bandits, I would usually go for killing all of the bandits on this build, but since this is League Start, I say that we save Alira, because she helps us balance our resist a lot, and the fact that critical strike multiplier is really good in terms of damage, and even though it's not a lot, the mana regeneration can feel somewhat nice during leveling and even a little bit in mapping until we get any form of total mana cost minus for the Cyclone. Remember also to go check out the guide on the forum, where I have a leveling guide section with things such as leveling items, skill setups for leveling, and leveling trees. I have two different skill setups for leveling, one for Frostblades from level 1 to 28, and then Bladestorm from level 28 and forward. You can also use Cyclone if you want to, and I also have a pre-endgame 5 links with a 5-link Bladestorm and a 5-link Cyclone. And then as well, I have another section called League Starting with this build that has some good information about what items you kind of want for League Start, what aura setup you want to use, and what prioritizations you want to have for building your endgame character. Now, when you start hitting maps with this build, there are a couple of things that you want to prioritize on all of your rare gear. Obviously, you want to keep balancing your resists and have a lot of life as well for the survivability. When you're going for more damage, you should look for mods such as physical damage to attacks, critical strike multiplier, critical strike chance, attack speed, and if you can as well, intelligence will help us a lot with actually being able to use some of the gems that we want to use in this build overall as well. Other good things to keep track of are spike gloves are a really good damage item for this build, and you can start using spike gloves at level 70, and steel rings is also very useful, and you can start using those at level 80. Now remember though that spike gloves and steel rings with good mods on them can be a lot more expensive. One last thing as well is that I updated the guide on the forum, and I talked a little bit about how we're going to manage the mana cost of Cyclone from now on when they change the fossil crafting. I gave 3 different options on how you can maintain your mana with Cycloning now until you can find a socketed attacks have minus 15 total mana cost armor, which will be a lot harder to actually acquire from now on. Thank you very much for watching the video. Remember to subscribe here on YouTube, and also go over to twitch.tv/burgerbush and drop a follow, and I'll see you around.